So there's this new rumor going around that Nintendo's about to introduce an achievement system finally. Now, this video is not really going to report on that rumor. I actually don't think it's very credible, but because the rumor's surfacing and circling around, I think this is a good time to talk about how I've always thought for a while, like since like the middle of the Nintendo Switch 1's life cycle, how Nintendo will inevitably introduce a system-wide achievement system. And so this new rumor, yeah, I haven't looked all deep into it in every nook and cranny of the rumor, but it sounds to me like it's really more with Nintendo Switch Online. And like if you're involved with Switch Online, there's like these icons that sometimes they do events. Oh, if you play Donkey Kong Country online for like this week, you can get like an icon or like points to spend on icons and like backgrounds for icons. And it's I don't participate in any of that because I don't care about my icon really. And I think they're gonna kind of revamp that a little bit. Maybe it's gonna be tied with platinum points. Like maybe instead of just play the game within a week, it's gonna be more like, yeah, beat the game. If you beat Donkey Kong Bonanza, you unlock this icon. Maybe there will be timed events, or it's like get 500 kills in Metroid Prime. Either get like an icon or points that could be used at like some new icon shop. I think it'd be really cool if they brought back like gold points in some way because they're ending gold points, and if they make it so like you can do these like activities and get some gold points, that would be a little more interesting to me to have some kind of value. But I don't think I'd be like that's not how I'm gonna like plan my gaming sessions. Is based off of that. Uh, that's something that'd be cool. Again, this is the rumors. I think like based on these rumors, if they do something like that, like right now in the year 2020, well, probably 2026 at this point, even if they do implement like this rumor, that's probably what it's going to be, something like that. And you'll need like Switch Online because like the awards and all that. And it's more incentive to just like be subscribed to the service. It's to add something new, and that's really like the whole thing is about adding new stuff. So if you look at Nintendo Switch Online and even the Nintendo Music app, you know that Nintendo loves their drip feed method. A lot of noise online of gamers. They absolutely cannot stand the drip feed method, which is really understandable back when on Switch Online we just had like the NES games. Because like even if you like back in the Wii day at the end, they had like all these games on there, and then they re-released them on Wii U and the 3DS shop. And then when we got to Nintendo Switch Online, you can't buy the games, but like all there was like NES games, and like I don't remember if like Super Nintendo was there right away or if it was like yeah, and then they had like Game Boy. And it's all been this drip feed going on, and you hear noise online that people hate it. Oh, Nintendo's drip feeding, drip feeding, drip feeding. The drip feed makes just way too much sense to me, because this is an online subscription service. Think of Netflix. You want people subscribed all the time, and if it becomes stagnant, you're gonna hear the noise of just like, oh, they're not doing anything with like Nintendo Switch Online. What's the point of the subscription service? And I think like people don't want the drip feed. Like you hear people talk about that. They talk the talk, but like if they with like the GameCube on Nintendo Switch 2, the GameCube Online, if they just dropped all the games at once, like no one would be playing them. I think they like just recently dropped Mario Paint. Everyone wanted Mario Paint. You hear the noise, Mario Paint, Mario Paint, Mario Paint, Mario Paint. I doubt anyone's playing it. And like what they released Soul Calibur 2, they released F-Zero and Wind Waker. That was like the launch of the GameCube stuff. And I even bought the GameCube controller. I still have it sealed. I haven't played any of the GameCube Switch Online games because just like there's other games to play. I've played GameCube a lot. Like I want to play Wind Waker. I'm holding out for two reasons. One, that's not the game I feel like playing right now. And also this holiday season's packed with games. People are saying there's no games. It's packed with games. Honestly, my backlog's packed with modern games that have fallen to the side because of other new releases. And I want to play Wind Waker, but that's an easier one for me to hold out on, just because if I play the GameCube version now, they're going to release the HD version remastered from the Wii U onto Switch 2, and I'm going to feel really burnt. That happened to me with Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I played that on GameCube in like 2020, and then they released the remaster. I bought it, but I haven't played it because I'm like, I just played it like pretty recently. So like basically if they released all the GameCube games instead of the drip feed method, I still wouldn't be playing the games. The drip feed method, I kind of think is fun. I think it makes sense, every month. You can think that there's no new games coming out, but then, I mean, in their mind, they're just constantly advertising Switch Online, new game, and now with the music, new music. Like they're always able to make these social media posts or a YouTube video. It's just all this like low level advertisement that spreads far and lets people talk about it. I think it's pretty genius. And The thing is, Nintendo's been a company for 100 years. You gotta think they're gonna be a company for another 100 years. And with the drip feed method, that buys them some time. And now they added the music in it too, so it's not just games, it's the music. But with the games or the music, there's only so many NES games. There's only so many Super Nintendo games. I mean, I can't believe they did the Virtual Boy on one hand, that they're actually making this peripheral, which like that really opens up the floodgate of like things that you no way are they gonna like make a controller for that, like a DS screen, which is like of course like with the top USB-C port. A DS screen has always been something that's like been on people's minds when you see that, but it's like, would they really do that? Would they really make a screen that's detachable, that's optional? The fact that they're going through this effort to do the Virtual Boy, I absolutely think so. Again, it's like 14 games on Virtual Boy, but that's more drip feed. That helps extend the finish line farther, because there's only so many Virtual Boy, there's only so many consoles. So like after that, what we have left, we have the Wii, the DS, the 3DS, and the Wii U. Maybe Game and Watch, and that's unless they do get like third-party consoles like TurboGrafx. And most of these, like, you can think of their first-party games that they'll get no problem on Super Nintendo, on N64, but that's gonna run out too. Then they need some third-party. We have Sega Genesis on Switch Online, but no matter what, we'll call modern gaming the start of the eShop on Switch 2 or Xbox One, PS4. Like that's like modern gaming where we have this unified eShop or online stores. Anything before that, it's pretty much set in stone. There's only so much. It's gonna run out eventually. Whether it's in 10 years or 100 years, it will run out. The music app will run out of games to put music on. And so then what happens with the service? How does it continue to grow? I've always thought that achievements would be a way that Nintendo would help extend that Switch Online constant news cycle, constant drip feed thing, because it would be like a Nintendo way of doing it. So maybe eventually, I don't know if it's the Switch 2's lifetime, the Switch 3 lifetime, but my prediction has always been they will add a global achievement system at some point. I mean, look at the Switch 2. One of the big flagship features of advertising was game chat, something we had 20 years ago on the Xbox 360 era. Just simple game chat. This is like being advertised as a huge feature. I think achievements, a global achievement system, will work very similar way. Of course, unless it's at the start of a system like let's say the Switch 3 now, that would be the cleanest way to do it, is the start of a new system. But that's not saying that they can't start in the middle of a system's lifetime, because like when they do it, as soon as they do it, you're gonna expect every new game that comes out to have like achievement support, whether it be third party or first party. And then the question really is the old back catalog of games, and that's where the drip feed comes in. For third parties, it's probably an easier update. I don't think it's like flipping a switch or anything like that, but they already have achievements like mapped and panned out. There's probably hooks for the achievements for, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Epic Games Store. I'm sure that's somewhere in the code, and that code is just either like commented out or blocked off or something. Those hooks aren't there for Nintendo because there's no achievement system for Nintendo. So for older games, they're probably going to have to roll out update patches, and same with Nintendo. But Nintendo, I do think that they would do a drip feed method, where it would be like, this month, achievement support's coming to Super Mario Odyssey, and they're going to have like a trailer, and they're going to be like, you get the game for 20% off or 25% off. You get Mario Odyssey for $40, achievement support, and that would be like a way for people to like, help breathe new life in the game, get some more sales out of this older game, get people playing it again. I don't think achievements would retroactively unlock based on your save. You'd probably have to start over and replay the game and get the achievements. But then, again, with the Switch Online, they have all the N64 in a world where they've maxed out the N64 games. Well, now they can re-drip feed and be like, achievement support's added to Mario 64. And then the next month, achievement support added to Zelda Ocarina of Time. And then, the eShop, all these games are on the eShop. I haven't bought every single first-party Nintendo game. I missed out on some that I would have wanted. And they don't go on sale. Some do if they really haven't had that great of sales. They'll put some on sales, but really like $40 is like as cheap as it gets for like a $60 game. So let's just say like Advance Wars 1 plus 2 remake. That was something I wanted to get. I didn't. I haven't got it. There's no good time to get it. They do this achievement support drip feed method. Achievement support added to Advance Wars 1 plus 2, now on sale for $40. Oh, like that. It could be like, people who are into the achievements who get into it. That could be a moment to help make more sales. So there are going to be people who get addicted to achievements that will start playing the games as they drip feed. They'll buy the game. That could help influence a purchase decision. And like, again, it's Nintendo. They'll whether those games would be require Nintendo Switch Online, I don't know, but obviously the ones that if they put achievement support in Super Mario Brothers on the NES, you're gonna need Nintendo Switch Online, a subscription for that in order to play and earn those achievements. And so I think like that's like a card that's up their sleeve that they can roll out in the future to help keep people subscribed once they run out of content to put onto the service. And so, whether this rumor is true, I don't think this is going to be a global achievement system. It's probably going to be something to say, hey, we're adding something new to the service. I think it's going to be more towards this icon type of thing, event driven kind of thing, something I'm really not going to be personally interested in. But I think that they will inevitably, again, whether it's next year, 5 years, 10 years, 100 years, I think at some point they will introduce achievements, a global achievement system to Nintendo Switch. But they're like making too much money right now. Financially, they don't need to be giving people all this content to help like grow, because they're already growing. They're already making the money. They're able to charge more money for their games, for their accessories, and people are buying. They're not in a position like they were in the Wii or the Wii U era, where they're like almost desperate to get people going. They don't need to be selling their games on sale for $20 because like they can just hold it. They'll hold their cards because they don't need to. They don't need to. And that's why you get this drip feed, because they're not a desperate Nintendo right now. They have the power right now. They hold the cards, and that's something that they can do. And I think, following their drip feed method with other content, I think achievement support is going to roll out as just another content, another way to try to get people engaged, stay subscribed, build hype, build news, build free advertisement. And that's the way I really see achievements going. So I don't know. That rumor's out there. I don't think it's like, again, whatever. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not taking too much weight to that. But I thought that'd be a good time to talk, about this whole concept of how I envision and like where my expectations are on a realistic Nintendo global achievement system. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Have you ever thought of this? Do you like Nintendo's drip feed method? Does it drive you crazy? Do you even hate that I'm putting this idea out there in the universe because it's just more drip feed? That's how I feel. That's my expectations. That's what I think will happen. And if anything's better than that, then I win. If anything's worse than that, then, well, I probably won't be as surprised, or my expectations be like as bad as, I don't know. If you think the drip feed is really that bad, then I don't know. What do you guys think? Follow me on Twitter, subscribe, like, whatever. Thanks if you made it this far in the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.